Welcome to our special episode for today. What happens if a red squirrel and an American beaver merged into one body? Follow us to find out. But don't forget to subscribe to our channel to follow more interesting topics. If the red squirrel and the American beaver merged into a single body, we are talking about a hypothetical and impossible scenario in biological reality. However, we can try to think about it through some biological and physiological concepts. The red squirrel and the American beaver belong to two different mammal families. The red squirrel belongs to the Sciuridae family, which includes squirrels. The American beaver belongs to the Castoridae family, which includes beavers. The two families differ entirely in genetic, anatomical, and behavioral structures. Squirrels are small with a thick, pointed tail, while beavers are larger and have a flat, strong tail that aids in swimming. If we assume that these creatures could merge biologically in some way, though this is impossible in nature, we would need to consider a few things. Squirrels and beavers vary greatly in terms of chromosome number and genetic composition. The fusion of two such genetically divergent organisms could result in genetic instability, possibly creating a being that is unable to reproduce or survive. Such a merger might result in a creature that combines characteristics of the squirrel, such as its small size and ability to climb, and characteristics of the beaver, such as a larger body and flat tail, which could affect its ability to survive in any environment. The squirrel relies on trees for movement and climbing, while the beaver depends on water to build dams. In the case of merging, the resulting creature might have a combination of both characteristics, which would make it ill-equipped to adapt to either environment perfectly. The tail could become a mix of the squirrel's long, bushy tail and the beaver's flat tail, which could result in the loss of some important abilities, such as short-distance gliding or skilled swimming. Squirrels eat nuts, seeds, and fruits, while beavers feed on tree bark and aquatic plants. If the new creature needs both types of food, it might face difficulties in meeting its dietary needs. Beaver behaviors, such as dam building and burrowing, may be incompatible with the squirrel's preference for nesting in trees. The red squirrel and the American beaver live in different environments in terms of ecological adaptation. Squirrels are typically found in forests and woodlands, where they climb trees and hide in nests. Beavers, on the other hand, live in aquatic environments like rivers and lakes, where they build dams and underwater burrows. Merging the characteristics of the two could result in a creature that lacks the ability to adapt well to any specific environment. For instance, if it can swim like a beaver but lacks the skills to build dams or climb trees efficiently like a squirrel, it could struggle to survive in either environment. One of the greatest challenges this hypothetical hybrid creature would face is reproduction. Due to the vast genetic differences between the two species, it is unlikely this creature could reproduce with others of its kind. Even if we assume some form of mating between a squirrel and a beaver, their significant genetic differences in chromosome numbers could lead to infertile offspring or result in early death or failure to survive in the natural environment. Squirrels tend to be somewhat social within specific limits. Some species may be solitary, while beavers are highly social and live in groups in aquatic environments. A hybrid creature between the squirrel and beaver might struggle to interact with other members of each species. It may find it difficult to adapt to the social behaviors of beavers, or it might have difficulty moving through trees or interacting with other squirrels due to a lack of specialization in social or environmental behaviors specific to each species. If this hybrid creature struggles with adaptation or lacks the efficiency to survive in its environments, it could become an easy prey for predators. Moreover, the lack of vital survival skills could make it more vulnerable to extinction. Furthermore, this hybrid creature might be more susceptible to environmental diseases or microbes that target one of the original species more than the other. From a genetic standpoint, there is no basis for forming a hybrid between a squirrel and a beaver. This could lead to the degradation of biodiversity, as hybrid creatures may possess traits that are not beneficial, reducing the ability of the original species to adapt to environmental changes. The red squirrel relies on nuts, seeds, and fruits for food, typically climbing trees to obtain its food and storing it under trees for the cold winter months. In contrast, the American beaver depends on aquatic plants such as grasses and other aquatic vegetation, as well as tree bark for nutrition. It also builds dams in streams and rivers to create a safe aquatic environment for itself and its family. Merging these two species would create a creature that cannot effectively obtain food. For instance, it would not be able to climb trees like a squirrel to obtain nuts, and at the same time, it may not be able to build dams or swim as skillfully as a beaver to find its aquatic food. This hybrid creature would also be at risk of nutritional deficiencies if it cannot secure a sustainable food source that meets its needs. The squirrel's physical structure allows it to move quickly through trees and leap short distances. On the other hand, the beaver has a larger body and a flat tail that helps with swimming and provides insulation, enabling it to navigate its aquatic environment and build complex settlements in waterways. A hybrid between the squirrel and the beaver might face problems in developing a balanced physical structure. For instance, if its body is a mix of climbing and swimming abilities, it might be ineffective at either activity. Its forelimbs may become ill-suited for climbing, as in squirrels, while the flat tail may not be sufficient for swimming, unlike the beaver's highly adapted tail for swimming and diving. Considering all the biological and physiological factors mentioned, it is unlikely that this hybrid creature would succeed in surviving. Genetically, as previously mentioned, the genetic disparity between squirrels and beavers is so great that natural mating between them is impossible, and even if it did occur, it would likely result in a creature that cannot survive. Moreover, if the creature were genetically modified to incorporate characteristics from both the squirrel and the beaver, the interaction between the different biological systems might cause health problems that would hinder its ability to live normally in its environment. In the end, merging the red squirrel with the American beaver into a single entity is an idea that is not biologically or genetically feasible. But even if this were possible, it would likely result in a creature that is not well adapted to its environment. This creature might struggle with food acquisition, adaptation to either aquatic or forested environments, and reproductive challenges. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting topics. See you.